The Red Sox are ready to begin the second half. Welcome to Fenway Park, where Boston is set to begin a three-game series against the Kansas City Royals on a spectacular night for baseball here on Friday night. Good evening once again, everyone. John Risch in for Don Orsillo, joined by Jerry Remy. And Jerry, the Red Sox are entering a key stretch, and they've also been encouraged by what happened leading into the break.
Well, they feel pretty good about what happened down in Houston, the way they played down there, the fact that they got 4 days off and come back to the ballpark all refreshed. But really, what remains ahead of them is the schedule. And the schedule is a very important part of what's going on at this time of the season. The 3 games at home against Kansas City, but then look at after that. It's the American League East, Toronto for 4, Tampa Bay for 3, Toronto again, and then the Yankees. And by the time that's over, the Red Sox will have a pretty good idea whether they're going to be buyers or sellers at the trading deadline, which is coming up at the end of this month. Now, it's going to be very tough, obviously, being 9.5 games back to make up that much ground. But the fact is, if they continue to play well and play well against the East, they could move up in the standings, and that'll determine what kind of moves they're going to make. If it works out, they probably stay with this ball club. If it doesn't work out, they start to see some parts moving and focus on 2015.
Yep, leads them right up to the non-waiver trade deadline. Conventional wisdom says they'll have a pretty good idea of who they are by the time they get to the end of that stretch. Oh, we've got a fantastic night for baseball for you. Picture perfect. Couldn't have drawn it up any better for late July. Red Sox and Royals coming up. The official ticket partner of the Boston Red Sox. Fenway Park, the site for the Red Sox and Royals as they get set for the first of 7 meetings, first of 3 this weekend at Fenway Park. Now, the Red Sox will have Clay Buchholz on the mound tonight. He got a fantastic start against Houston heading into the break. And John Farrell talked about why he set up his rotation the way he did. Buchholz pitched on Sunday, and he'll pitch again today. And they'll go with the guys who pitched the least heading out of the break. And that's Buchholz, who probably doesn't need the rest. He's pitching on regular rest as he'll pitch for his 5th win tonight. And then the youngster Ruby De La Rosa will get the ball on Saturday night with John Lester anchoring the series finale. He pitched a single inning in the All-Star game on Tuesday, and they'll wrap it up with John Lackey and then, of course, Jake Peavy. Now, that leads us into our Chevy key player to watch, and for more on that, we send it down to Steve Lyons.
Hi, John. To me, I think it is Clay Buchholz. And when you look at what he's been able to do, I'm pretty excited about this second half for him because ever since he came off the DL, he's looked better and better. And I think he's evolved as a pitcher. I think he's throwing fewer cutters. He's going to his other stuff. And everything's working really well for him right now. If you go back to last Sunday's start against Houston, he had a career high in strikeouts when he struck out 12. He threw a complete game, for the first time since 2012. And look at the pitches that he's got working for him. Big breaking ball right there, two-seam fastball. Here's a changeup. Those are excellent pitches for him with great depth and excellent movement. Sometimes for me, he gets in trouble when he throws too many cut fastballs, and I think that he's a guy who's evolved now to understanding that he can't blow people away, and he's got to use all his pitches in order to be effective. John, back to you.
It really has been a while, Steve, since Buchholz went to the mound with all of his pitches working. Boy, they worked on Sunday. We're nearly ready for baseball here at Fenway. Stay tuned. We'll have the first pitch next. Your New England Audi dealers, Dunkin' Donuts. Your Nissan dealers of New England, McDonald's, I'm loving it. Your New England Ford dealers, and by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Welcome back to Fenway Park, everyone, as the Red Sox and Royals are getting set for the first of three. First of 7 meetings they'll play later this year. That is in September at Kauffman Stadium. Let's start now with the Kansas City lineup. And they will lead it off with their center fielder, Lorenzo Cain. Omar Infante will get the start at second and bat second. Eric Hosmer is the first baseman. Salvador Perez the catcher. Back in the lineup is Alex Gordon. He's hit well in his career at Fenway. He's in left. Billy Butler the DH. Mike Moustakas is at third. Alcides Escobar is the shortstop. And Nori Aoki is the man in right field. Tonight's Red Sox starting pitcher is presented by your New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new 2015 Audi A3 today. Clay Buchholz looking to pick up right where he left off on Sunday, making his 15th start, trying to even his record. The ERA has dropped to just under 5.5, just under 80 innings of work. Opponents batting .292 off of Buchholz, who struck out 62 over that stretch. And against Kansas City, he's had a lot of success. 4 wins in 5 starts and an ERA just over 2. As we take a look now at the Red Sox defense, Xander Bogaerts is at third this evening. Stephen Drew the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Mike Napoli man's first tonight. Around the outfield, Daniel Nava will get the start in left field. Jackie Bradley Jr. is the man in center, with Brock Holt in right. David Ross is going to do the catching. As we mentioned, Clay Buchholz working through his warm-up pitches on the mound. Our umpiring crew tonight, Gary Cederstrom has the plate. Lance Barksdale is the man at first. Kerwin Danley handles second. And Mark Ripperger is the man at third. This game is available in Spanish. The SAP function is brought to you by the new Captain Morgan White Rum.
Buenas noches, amigos.
couldn't have drawn it up any better tonight. Temperature in the upper 70s to start. Probably will cool off a little as the evening goes along, and very low humidity. Wind should not be a factor, blowing right to left at just 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy is the forecast, but I tell you, as you look around, there is hardly a cloud in the sky. It's just a brief 3-game homestand, so to speak. They'll play Kansas City for these 3 games this weekend and then head right back out on the road for a key stretch.
Yeah, we talked about the schedule coming in, and of course Clay Buchholz getting the start in this first game of the homestand, a very brief homestand, and then it's off to play the American League East for a number of games. And by the time those are done, the Red Sox will have a very good idea of what's going to be happening in 2014.
Percentage points behind the Rays in the standings. They are 8.5 back in the wild card standings as well. These Royals enter in second place in the Central, and they are 2.5 games behind Seattle for that second American League wild card spot. And Clay Buchholz is ready to go. Lorenzo Cain will lead it off for the Royals. And we are ready for baseball at Fenway Park. Shows bunt. First pitch of the game is in there for a called strike.
Should be a little different outlook tonight for Buchholz against this Kansas City ball club. They do not walk very much. They're a very aggressive team, and they don't strike out at all. They're the toughest team in the league to strike out.
Cain fouls that one off and quickly finds himself in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. We also have the third member of our broadcast crew downstairs this evening, Steve Lyons, who's hanging out just at the far end of the Red Sox bench, the camera well.
Yeah, I'm in the penalty box again, down here in the cage. Great to be back with you guys.
Oh, what'd you do this time, Steve?
I belong down here way more than you'd think.
0-2 is fouled off again.
That's the first changeup right there that Buchholz has featured, a little bit high, but that was really, to me, the pitch for him in that last outing against Houston. He had a great changeup, probably the best one he's had all season long. That one, not exactly where he wanted it, but got the good result, the foul ball.
That one's upstairs. First ball, 1-2.
You know, Jerry, he's had successful outings here since he came back off the DL, but it has taken him a little while to settle in. He's been able to get away with some early mistakes, I think mainly because of the teams he's been playing against. We'll see how Kansas City treats him if he does the same.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That was a good changeup there. 1 down.
That's what you're talking about, Steve. You know, when he first came off to the Sabre list, it was basically fastball, cut fastball from Buchholz, but the more he's pitched, the curveball, which he strikes him out with right there, and the changeup have got much better for him. And he needs all 4 pitches plus that 2-seam fastball to be effective. When he's had all those pitches going like he did last time out, the confidence rises.
Here's Omar Infante, the second baseman. On the inside corner. Good velocity early for Buchholz. That last fastball at 94. Foul tipped into the mitt. Strike 2.
Interesting today, John Farrell saying that David Ross getting the start tonight in this first game after the All-Star break. He likes the idea of Ross starting the first game of a series. It gives Vasquez a chance to sit back and watch how they're setting up these hitters.
Outside, 1-2. It also puts him in line to catch John Lester on Sunday, and I think that's the plan, at least for now, to have Ross catch Lester.
Yeah, that's been it for a while.
Fouled off.
Another good cut fastball there from Clay Buchholz. Good job by Infante fouling it off. He's only struck out 35 times this year.
In July, he's been hitting almost 440. Hit in the air towards left. That's back towards the wall, and it clangs off the stairs and ricochets away from Navi. Has to track it down near the foul line. That's a stand-up double for Infante.
Now Buchholz tried to sneak that fastball by him inside, and something we don't see come into play very often are those that stairway that goes up to the Green Monster. There's really no need for it anymore, but it remains on that left field wall, and very seldom do you see a ball hit that. That one did, and it carried him back. It probably turned a single into a double by the deflection off the stairway.
Jerry, I was just going to say, Jerry, all the years you've been here, all the games you've seen, how many times have you seen it hit the ladder?
Yeah, I haven't seen it hit very much at all.
It is simply a novelty now, the ladder. Of course, they used to go up there and get all the balls that would collect it in the net before the monster seats. They petitioned to actually leave the ladder there for historic purposes more than anything else.
May have cost the Red Sox a base there. Eric Hosmer, the first baseman's in there. And that one's hit towards the wall. Nava back, turns at the track high off the wall. Scoring easily is Infante, stopping with a very long single as Hosmer. And the Royals take a 1-0 lead. Not too far from getting out.
No, Hosmer got a curveball that time from Buchholz, and the curveball you see is going to stay middle in. They wanted that curveball away. Instead, it stays inside in a very nice inside-out swing that time by Hosmer. He now has a 14-game hitting streak. So the Royals jump out quickly to the 1-0 lead.
Hosmer at first with one down for their all-star catcher, Salvador Perez. He swings at the first one, rockets it on the line to left, over Nava, makes the running grab, and Hosmer will retreat to first, 2 down.
Now, that's a nice running play by Nava, but the play before, the ball off the wall by Hosmer, that was a fantastic play off the wall. We've seen Johnny Gomes try to make plays off the wall without the ball bouncing. This ball never hits the ground. Off the wall, Nava catches it in the air and holds a double to a single. Just a really nice play.
Nava's made himself into a very good defensive left fielder. As Alex Gordon steps in at 268, back in the lineup after missing time with a sprained right wrist. Inside for ball 1.
Hey, Jerry, this is what I was talking about before when I'm seeing just early in his starts, too many pitches left out over the middle of the plate.
Yeah, that breaking ball to Hosmer was certainly a hanger, but other than that, he's had a couple of pretty good cut fastballs. What shot a breaking ball right there from Buchholz.
Curveball dropped in for strike 1.
A little more bite to this one.
Got it exactly where Ross set the target. Throw over to first, back easily as Hosmer.
Alex Gordon, now a former third baseman, now a left fielder, is the guy that they call easily their best and most athletic player on the roster. Turned himself into an outstanding player.
He came up with an awful lot of pressure on him, too. He was drafted, and everybody was saying, here's our next George Brett in Kansas City. And that's unfair to anybody to say something like that. That put an awful lot of pressure on him very early in his career.
Trying to live up to a Hall of Famer. Another throw over.
It's kind of funny, the funny line that they used when he struggled as a third baseman. They felt like they were taking his defense and taking it to the plate with him. They said, well, we decided to move him back about 150 feet. And now he's an outstanding left fielder. led the league in assists, I think, for the first 4 seasons he played out there.
Runner goes. Throw down to second is in time. He's out. Tag applied there by Drew. And Hosmer is gunned down at second to end the top of the first. But the Royals get one. Red Sox coming up. To the Red Sox lineup. The Red Sox starting lineup is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Brock Holt's a mainstay at the top of the lineup. He'll lead it off with Dustin Pedroia batting behind him. Then comes David Ortiz as the DH. Mike Napoli cleans up as the first baseman. Daniel Nava in left bats fifth. Xander Bogaerts behind him playing third. Then comes Stephen Drew, the shortstop, will bat seventh in front of David Ross, the catcher. Jackie Bradley Jr. hits ninth and plays center field. Holt steps in for Boston. Red hot. He's become a mainstay at the top of their lineup. A 5-for-6 performance on Sunday. And he takes high. Tonight's Royals starting pitcher is presented by your New England Nissan dealers. And a man the Red Sox fans are very familiar with, James Shields, who spent most of his time with the Rays. Misses in. Shields 9-13 against Boston. That's over the course of 25 starts. And he has struggled over the course of his career, especially here at Fenway Park. Holt takes a strike.
Yeah, 2-9 in his career here at Fenway Park with a 5.48 ERA against former Red Sox clubs.
Most of that work in a Rays uniform.
Those numbers make absolutely no sense. He's just a fantastic pitcher, and to have numbers like that coming into Fenway, you just can't figure it out. Kind of flying under the radar for a little while with Kansas City, but not anymore.
Now the count is full.
Coming off a very good start last time out. He picked up the loss but pitched well against Detroit.
His 9 wins before the break are his best ever.
And that misses, maybe a little low. Brock Holt begins with a walk. Time to take a look at the Kansas City defense behind Shields. Around the infield, they've got Mike Moustakas as their third baseman. Alcides Escobar is the shortstop. Omar Infante at second. Eric Hosmer, a very good first baseman. Alex Gordon, we talked about, he's extremely good in left field. Lorenzo Cain, the center fielder, and Nori Aoki in right. Shields of the mound. Salvador Perez with a Gold Glove to his credit behind the plate. And Dustin Pedroia takes a called strike. He hit at 280, Jerry.
That last pitch to Brock Holt was a pretty good pitch, John. I think Brock Holt got away with one there.
Looked to be right at the knees.
It's kind of funny, Jerry, the way that Brock Holt has carried himself and handled himself at the major league level. Here's that pitch you talked about. It's strange when a veteran pitcher like Shields will not get the call against a young kid like Brock Holt.
Exactly right. The rookies don't usually get the benefit of the doubt, and the veterans do. And especially when a guy like Shields, who doesn't walk very many people.
Foul off for strike 2. Dustin has had some success in his career against Shields. Guys like Pedroia and Ortiz have seen him a lot. Throw comes over. Holt has stolen 6 bags this season. He's only been caught twice.
The first few innings of a game that comes after an all-star break, for those who were not in the all-star game, seem very strange. Remember, baseball players are accustomed to playing every single day, and when you have 3 to 4 days off, you feel a little bit strange out there for a few innings until you get an at-bat or 2 under your belt, or catch a ground ball, catch a fly ball. It's really strange. It doesn't seem like a long time, but it is to baseball players.
Pedroia hits this one to left. Gordon over. Makes the catch. 1 down. Red Sox Nation, send us videos of you and your family wearing rally caps as we look to a great second half turnaround. Text keyword on TV to 536-536 and get the link NESN.com/OnTV to get started. And that brings up David Ortiz. Poppy just a couple of hits in the 3 games at Houston, but one of them was his 20th home run of the season. Pops it up. Foul territory. Perez with room. 2 down.
And David Ortiz going after that first cut fastball he sees from Shields, and the result, the pop up to the All-Star Salvador Perez. That ball's a little bit higher than what Ortiz normally swings at. A lot of times he'll take that high cut fastball, wants it down a little bit lower.
And that brings up Mike Napoli. The inning began with a Brock Holt walk. He's now at first with 2 down. 10 home runs on the year for Napoli, who's hitting .266. Outside corner, marginal pitch, strike 1.
Situation ordinarily, you might think Brock Holt would try to get himself in scoring position, but Perez behind the plate is one of the best in baseball, throwing guys out.
33% of the runners so far this year.
When you design a catcher, and I know Christian Vasquez will probably be paying attention, that's exactly what you design sitting right back there.
Perez ended up being the starter on Tuesday night with Matt Wieters out due to injury. Napoli stays alive.
There's that 2-strike approach by Napoli. A fastball that was up, probably out of the strike zone, but he did cut down on his swing a little bit and was able to foul it off. They went up by design. You could see catching Perez giving the fastball sign. Wanted it upstairs. That's exactly where they got it. Looks like maybe a throw to first here.
Such a comforting feeling for every pitcher on this staff, and they've got a good staff, and you're going to see 3 of them on this series. To be able to not have to worry too much about the guys on first base or on any base, just quickly get the ball to home plate, do your job, and you know that Perez is going to do his back there.
Just missed. Ball 1. Now Napoli is granted time. Settles back in. Hits it up the middle. Line drive center field. Base hit. Stopping at second is Holt. 2 on, 2 outs for Boston.
Now again, Napoli cutting that swing down a little bit with 2 strikes. Gets a cut fastball. This time it's out over the plate. And takes it into center field for the base hit. You can see how he even chokes up on the bat a little bit more with 2 strikes on him. That's an approach he's been taking since spring training, and it has worked for him. I mean, he still strikes out a lot. There's no question about that. But he has made more contact with 2 strikes this year, and productive contact.
And Jerry, you know where he's hitting in the order too. I mean, he's got to be productive. He has to still try to drive in runs. So that approach has helped him a lot. But he's still a guy, as you know, hitting where he's hitting in that order. You got to go up hacking.
Here is Daniel Nava. Breaking ball misses. Nava batting at .238, coming off of a 3-for-9 series in Houston. Misses. Daniel Nava's favorite movie is Dumb and Dumber. Good choice. I haven't been to the Cheesecake Factory lately. My kids love it. Jerry, we should go to Hawaii.
It's been a long time since I've been to Hawaii. Years and years and years.
Fouls it off. Never been. It's on my list.
Never been?
I've never been to Hawaii. I want to go.
Now you got to do it.
Well, Hawaii's a great place, but from the East Coast, man.
Yeah, do it in 2 days.
Flight.
Do it in 2 days. Fly to L.A. or San Francisco, spend the night, and then fly over to Hawaii. It's the best way to do it.
Should I bring all the kids or leave them home?
Leave them home.
Yeah. You didn't hear that, kids. Of course I would take you if I could.
It's a long way for kids on a flight.
It is. It's a really long way.
That's the best excuse you have. The flight's too long. You don't want to go.
Two balls and a strike here on Nava. It's this one high and deep to right. Back is Aoki on the track. He makes the catch in front of the bullpens, and the Red Sox leave a pair and do not score. 1-0 Royals through 1. you by Ace Ticket, the official ticket partner of the Boston Red Sox. Royals with a 1-0 lead as we begin the top of the second. 5, 6, and 7 due for Kansas City as Alex Gordon, who was at the plate when Hosmer was thrown out. And Buchholz bounces one in for ball one. Nine home runs, solid on base percentage for Gordon. Two and up. Gordon was also an all-star for Kansas City, but did not play because of that wrist injury. On the ground, Napoli with a big bounce. Has Buchholz one down as we send it down to Gary Strysky. Gary?
So, guys, 95 games down, 67 chances now for the Red Sox to make up 9.5 games in the American League East, which currently has them sitting in last place. Fortunately for them, that gap didn't widen before the break as they were able to win 4 out of 5 games, and now all they got to do is keep doing that, as John Farrell explains in our Geico quote of the day.
With Mike Karp coming back to us, it gives us some further depth on the bench. I think what Christian has given, Christian along with Mookie, along with Jackie, there's been an injection of additional energy to this team, and we've played better. And I think it's still going to start with who's on the mound on a given night and how they keep the game under control, and that'll be the case as we begin the second half.
And you talk about that pitching. The Red Sox arguably have their hottest pitcher on the mound right now, Clay Buchholz, the first Red Sox pitcher to start back-to-back team games since Hideo Nomo did it in 2001.
All right, Gary, thank you. And 2 quick outs here for Buchholz as Billy Butler skied one to right. So the base is clear. The shift is applied to Mike Moustakas. Buchholz wants a new ball. So far, 21 pitches, 15 of them for strikes for Buchholz. Moustakas steps in, hitting just 192. And there's another strike.
That time the two-seam fastball to lead off Moustakas, running it away from him.
Swung on and missed.
About Gary giving you his reports from the third base side of the field, normally over here in the cage where I am. I think the fans were expecting him. I'm getting pizza from people and candy and stuff. They're giving me a bunch of stuff that I think normally would have been reserved for Gary.
Actually, negative, not at all. They never come bearing gifts, Steve, so that that must just be because they're happy to see you.
So you bumped him out of his spot.
Oh, starving too.
Now you're taking his food.
Look at that slice.
Pizza. Excellent.
Listen, guys, I got the run to home base tomorrow morning anyway, so the pizza I would have to decline. But if anybody wants to bring me a protein shake, maybe a protein bar, I will accept.
Up and in, 1-2 now on Moustakas. Protein bar. Who eats a protein bar at a ball game?
I guess somebody who's going to be running tomorrow.
I'm not running tomorrow, that's for sure.
Come on, you've seen Gary's guns. He pays attention to that. I sit over here and eat pizza.
Hot dogs. Supposed to be hot dogs. Strike 3 called. Nasty pitch, and Moustakas has caught looking. Buchholz has a quick and easy 1-2-3 second. stroke. The Stroke Center at Beth Israel Deaconess, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, reminds you fast treatment can save lives. Learn the symptoms at bidmc.org/stroke symptoms. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Royals. Here's Xander Bogaerts. And he takes one in the inside corner for a called strike. Bogaerts with an average of .235, 6 home runs. His struggles have been well chronicled. Tries to check, could not, now in the hole.
And a lot of them have come on that type of pitch right there, that breaking ball to the outside part of the plate.
Taps one to stay alive. He's hitting just .116 over the course of his last 32 games heading into tonight.
2 for 11 in that series down in Houston. Back-to-back changeups. It's been a breaking ball, then back-to-back changeups to Bogaerts.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't see another breaking ball down and away. That's the pitch he has had trouble with.
Looks like that's what they want to do. A fastball away.
On the ground to short. Escobar sets and throws high. Takes Hosmer off the bag. Bogaerts is safe at first on what will likely be an E6.
Yeah, for Escobar, that'll be his 8th error of the season. He goes to the backhand and everything looks solid until he releases the baseball. As soon as he released it, it started to tail up that first baseline, and that caused Eric Hosmer to have to come off that bag and leave it wide open for Bogaerts. Really a sinking two-seamer over to first base.
There are so many plays that an infielder has to throw the ball sidearm in order to make the play. That wasn't one of them. Should have come over the top on that one, and he went sidearm and did throw a two-seamer that really had great movement.
Here's Stephen Drew in there for a strike. Drew on the year, 151, couple of home runs, 14 hits in 93 at bats. Miss low.
One thing he does have going for him, very good numbers against Shields, 4 for 8. Fairly small sample size, but 4 hits in the 8 appearances he's faced him.
That includes a double. Drew did have three hits rather down in Houston. Gets this one down the right field line. Drifting foul into the seats. This one on a line into right center field, in for a base hit. Bogaerts is heading for third. The throw is cut off, and the Red Sox have been in the corners.
Well, that success continues now, 5 for 9. It looked like to be a changeup that stayed up in the zone that times for James Shields. And it stayed away, but Drew was able to hook that ball into center field for the base hit. And that's going to allow Bogaerts to go to third, so the Red Sox got a little first and third action with nobody out here in the second inning.
And David Ross coming up for the first time.
You look at the play that Lorenzo Cain made to kind of cut that ball off. He's ranked the #1 outfielder in all of baseball in zone rating. I don't put a lot of credit into that stuff, but it basically says he has outstanding range.
Down to the dirt, nice stop by Perez.
It's kind of like hockey, skate your lane in baseball, catch your zone.
If you can.
And I guess if you're in the outfield, you want to expand the zone.
Yeah.
Ross lines one to third, caught. He scorched it, but there's one down.
Well, you can't do much more than that than what David Ross did. I mean, he got a cut fastball, put it right on the line, and see how far off the line Moustakas is. Just has to go a step to his left, and fortunately for the Red Sox, the ball was hit so hard they couldn't get a big enough lead where they would be doubled up.
And that makes Jackie Bradley Jr. the key man now. Shields and Perez have a quick conversation. Bradley at 227, but that number has been on the rise. He had a 5 for 12 performance in Houston. He now has hits in 15 of his last 19 games. And again, a nice stop by Perez and a ball low.
Well, with just one out in this inning, still plenty of time to do damage, but the Red Sox start the second half much the same way they played most of the first half. In search of that one big hit that would kind of break things open, get you some runs. That's a ball that Ross hit that should have tied the score.
Snap throw to third, close, but Bogarts is back.
That prearranged play right there between Perez, the catcher, and Moustakas. You can see Moustakas take a couple of crow hop steps toward third base, and that ball was outside. It was almost like a pitch out.
Bradley grounds it foul. Just over 50% success rate for Bradley Jr. getting that runner home from third with less than 2 outs. Fouls it off again.
Now, he had opened his stance a while ago, and to me, and I missed the series in Houston, but it looks like to me like his stance is even more open now than it was before they left for that road trip.
It is, Jerry. He has widened that thing out, and I think he does a good job of closing back down, but I think it just gives him an initial better sight line to the ball when he's open before he takes his swing.
Well, he's messed with a couple of different things this year, dropping his hands, opening his stance, but it is really wide now.
Outside, full count. Now Shields has had to work here in these first 2 innings. Already 36 pitches and only 1 out in the second. Swung on and missed. Bradley is a strikeout victim. That's a key K.
Yeah, and the thing too is they don't send the runner at first base, and the reason they don't send the runner is because Jackie Bradley strikes out quite a bit. This is his 83rd strikeout of the season, a fastball right down the heart of the plate.
That was 95 miles an hour, but Jerry, that is the pitch we've seen all season long, a ball being thrown right by him, generally on the inner half.
Yeah, and that ball was a little bit out over, something pretty good to lift in the air and at least get that run home from third base. But when you don't make contact, good things are not going to happen.
And here is Brock Holt for the second time. Takes a strike after walking and being stranded in the first. promising start. Error single, first and third with nobody out. And now 2 down for Holt. Hits it hard, but foul on the ground. And Perez will take another trip to the mound to talk to Shields. Shields has been a workhorse for Kansas City. To find a season in which the last time he didn't throw more than 200 innings, the Rays were still the Devil Rays.
Yeah, you're right, John. He's been that way ever since he really came into the league. A guy that you know is going to give you quality innings. Not just innings. I mean, quality innings.
That's high.
Yeah, you're really looking for Brock Holt to do something here. You really don't have to check the stat sheet. If you've been watching Red Sox games all season long, you know that they just have not been a good team getting guys on and then moving them over and getting them in.
It's a hard but foul right off the rolled up tarp. Only 9 days left to enter the Red Sox Foundation's World Series ring raffle to win an authentic 2004, 2007, and 2013 championship ring. To enter, visit redsox.com/ring raffle. Holt hits it on the ground by Moustakas into left field, base hit. Bogart scores and we're tied at 1.
A very nice job there by Brock Holt because it was a changeup. An off-speed pitch that he's able to stay back on, keep his hands back, and shoot it the other way for the base hit. The front part was leaning a little bit, but the hands were back. And able to slap that ball by the third baseman, Moustakas, who was well off that third base line. So a clutch 2-out base hit by Brock Holt. Picks up his 22nd RBI of the season.
Well, he is just locked in at the plate right now.
I just don't know how you could not be impressed with what he's been able to do. He hits as if he knows what's coming.
And it bounces wide to Pedroia.
Wow. What a backhand stab that was. Guys on base. That's a pitch way off the plate out of the strike zone. Johnny Bench. Goodness.
Pedroia 0 for 1 tonight. Line 1 to left. An inning to go. And he takes strike. Fouled off. These aerial views of Boston and Fenway Park are brought to you by Hood, the official dairy of the Boston Red Sox. To follow the Hood blimp and enter to win prizes this summer, visit the Hood Facebook page or follow @HoodBlimp on Twitter. Nice night to be cruising around. Pedroia lines it down the left field line, foul. Now remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Pedroia.
Well, guys, I've spent the last 15 years of my life living in Southern California, and I cannot think of a better night to play baseball than what we're seeing right now.
And it really is beautiful. You don't get this too often in July. Outside.
Doesn't get much better.
Low humidity. 8th inning. Pedroia in the air to center. Kane in now back. Makes the catch for out number 3. But the Red Sox get 1 and they get even. We're tied at 1. Right now, the MLB free-play mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season long. Tonight, free-play predicts Clay Buchholz will go 6 1/3, allowing 6 hits and giving up 3 earned runs while striking out 7. 2 innings so far for Buchholz. A run earned on 2 hits, 2 Ks, no walks. There's the shortstop Escobar. Shows bunt, backs out. John Risch alongside Jerry Remy. Steve Lyons downstairs. Gary Streisky roaming around somewhere. We'll check in with him in just a moment. Breaking ball gets the outside corner.
Yeah, most of the curveballs from Buchholz have been pretty sharp. He had one bad one early in the ball game, but a couple of real good breaking balls since then. Back to the cutter.
Swung on and missed.
Escobar might be playing this series with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, knowing that John Farrell was the manager of the American League at the All-Star game. There was some rumblings around the Kansas City organization that Escobar should have been an All-Star. Did not make the team.
Hits us with a third. Bogarts has it. Throws him out. As we check in with Gary.
So guys, we're at a Sox game, so it's pretty fitting that we're talking Sox. Sox for Sox here with Stacy Lucchino and Barry Buck, CEO of Boston Healthcare for the Homeless. You see it on the sign, Sox for Sox. What's the initiative and why Sox?
Well, as you can imagine, people who experience homelessness often are on their feet all day long, often don't have access to washer and dryer. And so after a while, their feet can really break down, and it can cause a lot of disease and a lot of problems. So having access to clean white socks really does have a profound impact on people's health.
Stacy, you say Sox for Sox, and it's really just a perfect fit here with the Boston Red Sox. Yet another charitable outreach program that you guys are once again a part of.
Yeah, we're very proud. The Red Sox are very proud of affiliation with the Reds with Boston Healthcare for the Homeless, and this is our 9th year.
Yep.
9th year working with this drive.
So we got the signs here. And if you're at Fenway Park, you can see all the stands, socks for the Sox, and it's just as simple as, hey, you come to the Sox game and you bring some socks, but you got to be specific about them, right?
That's right. Clean white socks, new white socks, and they have bins that they're collecting at all the gates. And if you can't come, if you're not at the game, then you can start a drive at your office. Perfect. And then on the website,
socksforsocks.com. So if you don't get a chance to make it out to Fenway Park over the weekend, yeah, you can start your own drive, and Barry, you can say they can go right there. And if you don't have white socks, we can always take green.
That's right. So you can contact us through our website, www.bhchp.org, or through socksforsocks.com. And thank you to Red Sox Nation.
This is an all-encompassing Go Sox. Barry, Stacy, thanks.
And thanks to Hill Holiday for doing this whole program for us.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Gary, thank you. Socksforsocks.com is the website. You can become a part of it even if you can't get to the ballpark. As you heard, there are lots of ways in which you can get involved. And what they're looking for are packages of new white athletic socks. That is bhcp.org/socksforsocks.
I know that Dennis Eckersley and his wife Jen are very much involved in that charity as well.
Two down to the bases clear here now for Lorenzo Cain. And Buchholz with the first pitch strike. Cain went down swinging first time up. Swung on and missed. Very ugly looking swing.
Yeah, on a very ugly pitch, a changeup, a good changeup there by Clay Buchholz, keeping it down and away from Cain. Almost turning that changeup over a little bit, which is very unusual.
And that one bounces.
Well, Jerry, so far what we've seen out of Buchholz, I think, is that he's used all his pitches really well. He's thrown fewer cutters, but very effective cutters when he throws them. And I just like the fact that he's mixing everything up much better than he was earlier in the year. And it's been doing wonders for him.
Well, I think it all comes from, the coming off to the Sabre list and pitching basically fastball, cut fastball. Finally getting the curve to work for him, the changeup, which is so important for him. Here's a changeup here.
And on the ground is short. Drew has it on the run. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals in the third. We go to the bottom of the third at Fenway, even at 1. You can tune in on Sunday night at 6 for the Ultimate Red Sox Show, presented by AAA. Middle of the lineup due up for Boston here as David Ortiz comes up for the second time. And Mike Napoli to be followed by Daniel Nava. Poppy takes a strike. Fouled out in his first plate appearance. Breaking ball away. Tonight's key matchup is brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. David Ortiz in his career against James Shields. You see the 9 doubles, 3 home runs, and a boatload of RBI. Inside, 2-1. Foul straight back.
A little bit higher there than David would like. Again, it's almost like the first at bat, chasing a pitch that really is not his strength. There's a high cut fastball again. That's the one he popped up back in the first inning and fouled it straight back there.
Now the count is full.
Here's a different look. 4 guys on the right side of the infield. 4 guys.
Popped it up on the infield. Near the mound. Nobody sees it at first. Now the catch is made.
Oh.
Hosmer overran it. Shields didn't see it. I don't know if Hosmer even tipped that ball on the way by.
I think he deflected it into the glove
of Moustakas.
Yes, he did. You mentioned it, Jerry. There was nobody on this side of the field to catch the ball. Watch it tip off the glove. He's trying to get out of the way of it, and it lands right on his chest.
Look what I found.
From the glove to the chest to the glove. Wow. And Shields, who probably had the best opportunity to catch that ball easily, didn't see it. Twilight right now here at Fenway Park. Very difficult time to see pop-ups and fly balls. Last for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Now there is one down from Mike Napoli. Napoli with a single. Takes low, it's 1-1. And that misses. 2-1.
You know, John, I'm thinking back about that shift on David Ortiz, and it didn't happen until he had 2 strikes.
Yep.
But I don't ever recall seeing 4 infielders for any team playing on one side of the field.
Escobar started to the left of second with 2 strikes, went to the right of second. Big swing. What are you thinking if you're a hitter? Looking at that.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know what to think. I mean, David Ortiz has seen it all, right?
Yeah, he's seen it all. I mean, you can't take yourself out of the game. One more look. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 on the right side, and then the pop-up, and then crazy things happen after the pop-up goes up. What a bizarre set of circumstances.
Well, you've talked about it a lot this year, Jerry. David has the ability to actually drive the ball the other way. And if they're going to do that, he needs to put more attention on hitting the ball to the opposite field gap.
Ground ball up the middle, a single for Napoli, and he is aboard his second single of the night with one down. This Sunday, be sure to catch a special edition of Ness and Clubhouse. D'Angelo Ortiz, David's son, co-host from Yawkey Way. Baseball players really train their brains. We find out at the Museum of Science. That's at noon on Sunday.
Is Gary hooked up down there? Is he back?
Pitches in there to Mike Napoli, or should I say Daniel Nava.
Gary, I got a chance to see the Nets and Clubhouse show start to finish.
Hey, how'd you like it?
I thought it was terrific. I really did. It's a great show. It's a great show for kids. It's a great show for adults.
I tell you what.
I give you a yo-yo, bro.
Jerry, coming from you, man, that means something. And, you know, talking to the players in the clubhouse and stuff, like Middlebrooks came up to me and Juan Nieves would come up to me and they say they like the show and they actually learn stuff. So it's pretty crazy that these big leaguers that play the game every single day are taking something away from it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never seen a full episode of it. I've seen bits and pieces because we've been getting ready to do games and stuff. And I finally got a chance to see a whole episode, and really, really a good show.
That's much appreciated. So I can count you in for this Sunday watching it?
No, bro. I'll be working. I'll be working.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm going to be working too. But D'Angelo is going to be hosting. He's in one of the segments, Batter Up, but now we're going to give him the full 30 minutes because TJ's on vacation. So that should be a good time. Poppy's he's going to be a proud pops that day for sure.
And I'm learning your lingo as I watch the show too.
Sure. Nava gets this one to left. Back goes Gordon. Makes the running catch. A little snow cone. And retreating to first is Napoli. I'm thinking maybe we could work on recording it for you, Jerry, and then you could watch it on the plane to Toronto.
I'm dead serious about this. I mean, you know, I had not seen a full episode. I've seen segments of the show, and I finally got a chance to see a full show, and it is really a good show. I mean, it's good for kids. It's good for adults. It's
Jerry, got to ask, what was your favorite part of the show? Because, I mean, there's like a bazillion segments that we get to pretty rapid fire.
It's hard to say. You know, I think you're my favorite segment, because
hey, check's in the mail. It's on the way for you.
Here's Xander Bogaerts. That's a strike.
I know Justine Porvelis is one of the main producers, among others. It's a group effort at NESN to put that show on every week. And, of course, Gary does an amazing job hosting. But the feature pieces and the things they run on that show and the things that you can learn watching it, it is not just for kids.
Bogaerts, line to left. Gordon there, catches it for out number 3. Red Sox do not score in the third. 3 complete at Fenway, even at 1. care about your community, Eastern Bank is committed to putting you first. Learn all the ways Eastern puts you first at easternbank.com. Red Sox and Royals even up at 1 as night falls on New England. The lights on here at Fenway Park. And Clay Buchholz has been on so far. He gave up a run in the first. Nothing since. He has set down 7 consecutive. Omar Infante leads it off. He doubled and scored Kansas City's only run. Two, 3, 4 due for the Royals in the 4th. On the outside corner for a called strike. Swung on and missed.
Another good change up there by Clay Buchholz. Down, off speed. Very good pitch.
Little tapper past the mound. Pedroia behind the bag throws. Not in time. Infield single.
It almost looked like Buchholz let that go on purpose, thinking Pedroia was going to be able to make the play. The problem was the ball was not hit hard enough. Watch Clay as he looks like he's going to try to make a backhanded play. Can't get to it. Now it goes to Pedroia, who gets rid of it very quickly. But Infante, who runs fairly well, able to beat that ball out down the first base line. That's a very difficult throw by Pedroia. They really get a lot on. Throwing across the body.
And because Pedroia had to run so far to go get it, Infante's running at the same time. By the time you make that throw, you can't throw him out.
Third hit of the night for Kansas City, second for Infante. Here's Hosmer. Infante back.
One thing you can expect, these Royals will steal their first in the American League in stolen bases, 4 to 5 for Infante. Escobar leads the team with 22.
Upstairs.
I think a lot of people were surprised when the Royals signed Infante. They gave him a few years and a bunch of money. But his veteran leadership was exactly one of the things that this team needed. Comes in and they say that he gives this team their most professional at-bats. He's their best situational hitter. Leads by example.
Inside, not close.
One of the other moves they made was picking up Raul Ibanez, who came in and played about 7 or 8 games right in a row for them. Did a nice job, but now he's basically mentoring other players. His preparation and dedication to the game is legendary, and these young players need to see that.
It's been a team that's been on the rise for the last couple of years.
Called strike.
And you can really start to see it come about, I'd say 3 years ago. You know, and you looked at it and you said, this got to be a good ball club. And they've continually improved and improved. And as Steve mentioned, they've got some veteran players to mix in with their young guys. The young guys no longer, real young guys, rookie type players. I mean, they got 3 or 4 years experience behind them.
Swung on and missed. Dayton Moore is their general manager. When they made the trade to acquire James Shields, they also got Wade Davis along with him before the 2013 season. It was kind of the signal from their front office that they thought that they were ready to contend. You don't make that type of deal unless you think you have a chance. And they did contend in the second half last year, but fell short.
a number of years ago, it was their minor league system, which was the darling of all of baseball. With some of the younger players that they have, when you talk about maybe Alex Gordon was kind of the first one, then Moustakas, Hosmer now, and a long list of guys that continue to come up. Salvador Perez, all these young, talented guys in their system that were just waiting and knocking on the door at the major league level. Now they're all here.
Runner goes, hit hard on the ground, fair down the first base line, and the ball attendant catches the ball, not realizing it was fair. What a look of dread.
Yeah. They're going to place the runners at second and third. That's going to be interference. And they're going to place the runners where they think they would have ended up had that play continued. And that's going to be questioned by Ned Yost, the manager of the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, the umpires have the discretion to let one of the runners score. It's not an automatic 2 bases, but you almost never see it anything different than 2 bases. And that's what Ned Yost is going to say is that, hey, that ball might have rattled down around the corner for a long time. My guy's on the run when the ball was hit. He would have scored on that play.
I think if you watch this, where it would have bounced out, it would have bounced right back to Holt.
Yes, it would.
And that's one of the reasons I think possibly they're keeping those runners at second and third. But I agree, they very seldom allow a run to score on that. And I've often disagreed with that.
Me too, especially when you see a ball hit deep into the gap and it bounces over a center field wall or something like that. If it hits the wall and you have a guy that's on the run, like Infante's running on the pitch, easily scores from first base. But instead, if they rule it a ground rule double, they stop him at third.
It's almost like that's the easy way out.
Yeah, it's hard to get an argument, or it's hard to win that argument.
But the Royals now have something cooking with runners at second and third, nobody out for Salvador Perez. And the pitch is high. In this case, though, they probably got it right, because that's not going to go to the corner. That's going to ricochet to Holt.
I agree with you, John. That ball was going to hit that wall and bounce back out to Holt.
On the ground, through into left field for a base hit. 1 run is in. Hosmer will be held. It is an RBI single for Perez, and it is 2-1 Kansas City.
Jerry, I think this is an example of a pretty good pitch that Perez goes out and hooks. You wouldn't teach a guy necessarily to do it this way, but he finds that 6-hole there and gets a base hit out of it anyway, doing something that you really don't want to do as a hitter. You should have gone the other way.
Yeah, it's a cut fastball away from him, and you're right. I mean, he has great plate coverage there and is able to pull that ball between third and short to get the base hit. But a lot of times you see that ball hit to the opposite field.
And one of those times where Buchholz got the hitter to do exactly what he wanted him to do, and it didn't work out for him anyway.
3 consecutive hits for Kansas City to begin the 4th. Here's Gordon. Hits the first pitch into center field for a base hit. Hosmer scores. To third goes Perez. Here's the throw. Offline. First and third continues. Now 3-1 KC. Buchholz cruised into this inning, but has now given up 4 straight hits, 2 runs, as Juan Nieves comes to the mound.
And that's a fastball away that time, again hooked by Gordon up the middle. Another run comes across. One of the few throws you'll see from Jackie Bradley Jr. that's actually off target. He had to spin all the way around and try to get himself lined up with third base, and the ball to the catcher's side of third base.
And you know what, Jerry? He did a great job of spinning and getting squared up on that play and making the throw. And I think we're just so surprised when he doesn't throw one right on the money, but it's literally impossible to do it every time like he has, and like the way we've seen him throw the ball this year.
Especially going in that direction he was going in and having to do all he had to do with his body to get lined up to third base.
And here is Billy Butler, DH 0 for 1. Low. Hits it right to Bogarts. To second out there. Now to home comes Pedroia. Ticks off the glove of Ross. And Perez is able to make it safely back to third.
He was going to make it back safe anyway, even if Ross catches that ball. He wisely picked up the throw to home from Pedroia. Once he saw that, he stopped immediately. You'll see Bogart's first check there, then go to second, excuse me. They see him break for home, and as soon as they see that, back to third base goes Perez. And so I think that even if Ross catches that ball, he gets back safely.
Now it's first and third with one down for Moustakas.
I mean, for me on that play, first and third, with nobody out, I think the runner on a third should be going. They're trying to stay away from a double play, first of all, even if you cut down at the plate. And that, a lot of times, Pedroia going to first base, that would have been a double play.
Yep.
And you would have had 2 outs, man, at third base.
Yeah, absolutely, you go on a play like that from third.
2-0 now on Moustakas, rather, who was caught looking back in the second.
For a couple reasons. The one that you mentioned, Jerry, because you keep yourself out of a double play situation even if they throw to home. And the other thing is that the second baseman covering second on a play never throws home like Pedroia did. He decided to maybe try to cut that run off after he got the first out. You sacrifice the double play, but you're still in a double play situation.
Napoli backhands to the plate. They've got Perez hung up. Bogarts chases him back. Napoli applies the tag. And the runners advance to second and third respectively, but there are now 2 outs and no run scores.
Now, I think if Ross had to do that again, he would continue to run that runner back a little bit longer. And that would eliminate a second and third situation. Here's the throw from Napoli. Now watch when Ross gets the space ball and he starts chasing the runner back. I think he let it loose a little bit too soon. That made the play at home plate, and that allowed 2 runners to get in the scoring position. I think if he continues back to third base, they get the man at third, and then you're talking about a first and second situation.
3-2-5-3 is how the out goes. And here is Escobar.
Gotta watch a drag bunt here.
Swings away and fouls it off for strike one.
A lot of times when you come to the plate and you got guys on second and third, you know a base hit will probably score you 2. Well, it's not a bad play for a guy to drop a bunt down and surprise some people. You're safe and you'll score 1. Bogart's paying attention.
In the air to left, not deep. Nava over. And Buchholz limits the damage, but the Royals get 2. They retake the lead. 3-1 Kansas City. This keeps our economy and community strong. That's why they've been named the #1 SBA lender in Massachusetts 5 years in a row. Eastern Bank, here you're first. Royals got 2 in the top of the frame. Bottom third of the Red Sox lineup, Stephen Drew, David Ross, and then Jackie Bradley Jr. Shields gets a first pitch strike. A single for Drew, has the average at 160 on the season. One and one. On the ground, second baseman. Infante has it, one down as we send it down to Gary.
Guys, the new Scion TC with tonight's poll question. Which Red Sox player will be the most important in the second half of the season? Sox 1 for Xander Bogaerts. Sox 2 for the guy on the hill, Clay Buchholz. Sox 3 for Stephen Drew. Or Sox 4, Christian Vasquez. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates, those may apply. Text help if you need it. Visit NESN.com/terms for all that fun legal stuff, guys.
All right, Gary, that's a tough choice.
Is there an all of the above?
I mean, they all are going to be important.
I think it depends on what you're talking about, too. I mean, for this year, for the future, I guess for the second half of the season, right?
Rest of this year, I might pick Bogaerts.
You liked it because he jumped out 30%. That's why.
This one is counts foul. I'm a front runner. There's no doubt about that. Let's see where it stands in a couple innings. Get back to me.
I think if you're optimistic and you're looking at a 9.5 game deficit in this division and you're thinking that they can come back, you need every one of those guys to have a great second half, including a bunch of others, in order to jump back in this thing. It would be exciting.
Fouled straight back. John Farrell has the task of managing some very young players, including Bogaerts and now Christian Vasquez.
Had a chance to, excuse me, John, had a chance to talk to John about his all-star experience today, and it is very taxing on a lot of managers. He said, but for him, it couldn't have worked out better. He said he got to use everybody in the game, except, those who were injured and could not get in there. He got to close it out with the Minnesota connection. He had the Derek Jeter thing, which was handled, I think, brilliantly. And, I asked him, I said, was it a fog for you or was it fun? And he said it was actually fun. He says, I was nervous going into it. He said, but everything just fell into place for me. So it was a very good experience for him.
Yeah, it doesn't work out that well for all of the managers. It can be very stressful.
Yeah.
Trying to manage all of those stars and please everyone.
He did say, too, that it should not count for home field advantage.
I agree with him.
And, after managing it, you can understand why. You're trying to get everybody into the game. You do things you wouldn't be doing under normal circumstances.
It's the most competitive all-star game in any sport there is, but it shouldn't count for anything as important as home field advantage in the World Series.
No, it's an exhibition.
Can't be both. It can't be an event and be a real game that you play to win.
I think John Farrell leans towards having your record during interleague play games determine who has home field advantage.
Even best overall record in baseball. Team with the best overall record. That could be home field advantage in the World Series. A lot of different ways you could go, with the exception of the way we go right now.
Any way would be better. Just right now it's wrong.
I agree.
Fouled off again as Bradley stays alive at 1-2.
A good example happened right out of the chute, right? I mean, you got Rainwright throwing cookies to Derek Jeter. So I mean, this counts. You know.
Well, that's what I mean. You know what? And if it doesn't count, I've got no problem with that.
I have no problem either. I've seen that many, many times.
On the ground to Hosmer. Scoops and shovels. 1, 2, 3 go the Sox in the fourth. We go to the fifth. 3-1 Kansas City. Feature two of the most prominent clubs in European football, setting the stage for an exciting rematch at Fenway Park. Tickets are on sale now, so go to redsox.com/football at Fenway to get your tickets today. Clay Buchholz limited the damage in the fourth, but he allowed two. They're the makings of a disaster with nobody out, but he got out of it. And puts the first pitch strike in there to Nori Aoki, the right fielder. Aoki 0 for 1, grounded to short. Chops it foul, 0-2.
Guys, Rusty Kuntz is the first base coach of the Kansas City Royals here. He's been a great baseball mind for a long time. I was disappointed to hear that he told me that this is going to be his last season. He said he's been in the game 37 years. He's got a son who's playing A-ball in the Royals organization. Has not seen him play since he was 12.
Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Aoki leads off the fifth with a single.
And he's got a little bit of speed. 7 steals on the season, caught 4 times. So there's a lot they can do with this combination of Aoki at first base and Kane coming to the plate.
Top of the order in Kane. The center fielder is 0 for 2. Still hitting just north of 300 on the season. Check swing, that's a strike. Buchholz really slows the pace down with runners on. over.
As we were talking about how this Kansas City team has been built, two of the players that are in the roster in the game tonight, Escobar and Lorenzo Cain, were involved in the deal when the Royals sent Zach Greinke to Milwaukee. Greinke, of course, didn't spend much time in Milwaukee, ended up signing with the Dodgers, and yet the two players that Kansas City got for him are in their everyday lineup.
And we just saw Greinke pitch for the All-Star game as a member of the Dodgers.
He's pretty good.
I'll say.
Pretty good 1-2 punch with Greinke and Kershaw.
Outside. Everything's been down and away in this sequence to Cain.
And that's an okay place to miss. Better than up and out over.
Let's see if they have the run of first going here on the 2-1 count.
Down and away again, 3-1.
Jerry, I think this is the case where Buchholz needs to get out of his own head a little bit. I think he thinks too much in these situations. He slows the pace way down. Get up on the mound, be confident of what you want to throw, and throw it.
Tapped at home plate. Now it's full.
There's no question when there are men at first base that Clay has his mind made up when he's going to throw over there. There have been times that he throws to first base where the guy's not even got a lead. He's standing right in the bag.
They've worked with him on that. It's better than it used to be.
Yes.
Runner goes. Called strike, throw down, not in time. Cain is caught looking, safe at second with a steal. His 8th is Aoki.
Cain got a curveball right here. And it's pretty much right down the middle of the plate. He didn't like the call, but it's a very good pitch. And then the advantage, obviously for the base runner, it is a breaking ball, so it takes a little bit longer to get to Ross. He had to rush his throw and could not throw. They go around at second base.
Runner in scoring position. Now with one down for Infante.
Must say Aoki.
I don't know. It is Aoki. I know that.
Yeah. Sounds like a promo.
Lifted foul. Fonte's had a good night so far. Double, single. He's scored twice. Fouled off again. Clay Buchholz's pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. And so far, 4 1/3, 3 runs earned, 7 hits. He hasn't walked anyone, 3 strikeouts, but he labored both in the 4th and so far here in the 5th. Just missed. Into the air to left. High. Edge of the track, Nava. Grabs it. 2 down. Tomorrow morning on Dining Playbook with Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson will be in Rhode Island. While there, they'll give you 3 great Newport restaurants, plus Jenny's in the kitchen with former Celtic and Boston College Eagle Dana Barros. Don't miss it. Tomorrow morning at 9.
A lot of players during the All-Star break heading to places like Newport and down the Cape, just trying to get away for a couple of days. Unfortunately, the weather was an issue a couple of days this week with heavy thunderstorms flooding in the area.
Hosmer takes inside. Yeah, here in New England, we didn't get picture perfect weather if you were taking time at the break. Although we've gotten it so far tonight. And it misses inside to Hosmer. 2-0. Hosmer singled home a run back in the first, doubled and scored in the fourth. It's 3-1 Kansas City. Over the outside corner.
Good 2-0 pitch right there by Buchholz. You know the hitter in that situation is looking on a 2-0 count, something middle in. And Buchholz goes to the outside part of the plate against Hosmer to pick up a strike.
Swung on and missed, challenged him there.
Fastball up in the zone at 93 miles an hour. Rising fastball that time from Buchholz.
Last time in this situation, he tried that little Yahoo fastball, the 2-seamer, where he starts it on the belt buckle of a left-handed hitter and tries to come back and nip the inside part of the plate. We'll see what he does here.
Off of Ross's glove to the backstop and advancing to third is Aoki. And the pitch missed, so the count is full.
A little different that time, not the 2-seamer, but the cut fastball from Buchholz. And that ball right out of his hand really did not have much cut on it.
Yeah, that was strange. Jerry, do you think he was looking for the 2-seamer and got a cutter?
Hard to tell. Ball ended up looking pretty straight.
It is scored a pass ball on Ross. On the ground, Pedroia can't get it into right center, a single, and it is 4-1 Kansas City.
Well, Hosmer's having himself a night. 2 singles, 2 RBIs, a double mixed in. They wanted to try that 2-seam fastball that time, but it stayed out over the plate. You can see Pedroia going to his left. He's expecting that fastball to be in and be pulled. Instead, it got most of the plate and ended up going up the middle.
Yeah, that's a pitch that location was missed badly. John, you were talking about when Lorenzo Cain was up there, how he was missing down and away consistently. And I said those are good misses. That's a bad miss. When you're trying to go hard down and in, and you leave one out over the middle of the plate, you're missing your location by about 18 inches.
Here's Perez for the third time. He's 1 for 2. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back curveballs from Buchholz there. Low. Royals got 1 in the first, 2 in the fourth, and 1 so far here in the fifth. They lead at 4-1. Buchholz now at 82 pitches. Upstairs. Juan Nieves looking on.
Buchholz got to bear down in this situation. If he doesn't, Perez can lose one.
Check swing. Did he go? Peel to first. No swing, says Lance Barksdale.
They're trying to keep that ball down in the zone again. That two-seam fastball, but too low, and no swing by Salvador Perez. Take a look at the side. Close, but as Perez said, no.
Another full count. Line drive to left. Nava plays it on a bounce. It's a base hit. Throw behind the runner. And Hosmer is back safe at second on a very close play.
And not a bad idea by Daniel Nava. Charged that ball. Of course, with 2 outs, you're already in scoring position at second base, so you don't want to take that chance of rounding second too far and then getting picked off. And that's almost what happened. You see Hosmer, when he went into his slide, it's almost like he stuck into the dirt and then had to reach for the bag with the bare hand.
Almost like a belly flop where he just landed and nearly stopped.
Yeah, just stopped.
His body took a bad hop.
But the inning continues, and now for Alex Gordon as Nieves gets off the phone, which will likely spur action to the Boston bullpen. It looks like Burke Badenhop will be the first man up. It is indeed Badenhop who will begin to throw. Gordon 1 for 2 with an RBI single. That came an inning ago. Swung on and missed.
These are the outings that have scared the Red Sox in the past with Buchholz. After he gave up the base hit that led in a run in this inning with 2 outs, you can almost feel the intensity leaving Buchholz.
Misses inside. John Risch alongside Jerry Remy. Steve Lyons is downstairs. Gary Streisky is roaming around, and the Royals have themselves a 4-1 lead. They've out hit the Red Sox 9-4. Gordon fouls it off. Don't miss WB Extra Innings tonight. That's right after the game. You can't go wrong when you buy right at WB Mason. TC and Jim Rice will have the highlights and reaction from the Red Sox clubhouse. Plus, you'll hear from John Farrell and his post-game thoughts. has himself a new bat. '90th pitch of the game on the way from Buchholz. And bounces.
Almost found the 5-hole right there for Ross, but he's able to knock it down with the webbing of his glove.
Another full count for Clay. Right to first. Napoli has it. He'll take it himself. The Royals get one more. They take a 4-1 lead. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Is committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to Children's Hospital. Visit alltown.com for an Alltown location near you. The Royals enjoying a 4-1 lead as Boston comes to bat in the bottom of the 5th with the top of the lineup. Brock Holt, Dustin Pedroia, David Ortiz do. James Shields has settled down. Delivers a strike. Holt has reached base twice, a walk and a single, driving home a run. Bounces in there. One run that has been charged to Shields is unearned. Under the elbows for a strike. Rolled in the ground to second. Infante slings one down. Tonight's Coors Timeless Moment is from July 24th, 1983 at Yankee Stadium. The infamous pine tar incident. Royals third baseman George Brett hit a 2-out, 2-run home run to give the Royals a 5-4 lead in the ninth. It came off of Goose Gossage. Yankees manager Billy Martin challenged the pine tar on Brett's bat. Of course, Brett was ruled out to end the game and give the Yankees the victory. Pitch to Pedroia's in there for a strike. Have you ever seen anybody more angry than that on a baseball field?
A couple of managers.
Maybe.
I don't know what Brett was going to do when he got there. He was rushing Tim McClellan, who's still umpiring. He was about 6'7".
Up the middle, behind the bag, off Infante's glove, and Pedroia will be safe at first. I don't know if Infante gets him, even if he picks it clean.
I'm with you, John. I think it probably goes as a base hit here. I mean, Infante was shading him up the middle and did get the chance to get to the backhand, but what he's going to do from there is going to be very tough to get Pedroia at first base if he comes up clean with it.
And it is an infield single for Pedroia. His first hit of the night.
I think in those days, when we were talking about that Brett incident, it was the pine tar could not come up more than 15 inches from the handle of the bat. And you very seldom saw it checked. And it was checked on Brett, and quite frankly, they did make the right call on it. I think since they have changed that rule.
You can see them using home plate to check it. Leave it to Billy Martin, right, to ask for them to check.
Well, the rule is now is that you have to check the bat before the at bat. If you want to question David Ortiz's at bat, you have to do it before he hits. If he hits with an illegal bat, as far as pine tar is concerned, the at bat stands.
Into the shift. Infante goes to second out there, on to first. Double play. A twin killing, and the Red Sox are quickly done in the fifth. 5 of the books, 4-1. Royals with the lead. Sammy Hagar at Foxwoods Resort Casino coming up on Saturday, August 2nd. For tickets and information, visit foxwoods.com. Clay Buchholz returns for the sixth on the short side of a 4-1 score. And he will deal with Billy Butler. Strike to the outside corner.
Well, guys, I don't know about you, but I'd like to see a little attitude, a little pace out of Buchholz in this inning. I mean, he's up over 90 pitches already, so he's not going to be going many more innings.
And depending on how this one goes, it could be his last.
Yeah, very well could be.
Go out with a bang. Buzz somebody. Throw some nasty pitches. Get some outs.
Swung on and missed. Tonight's league leaders is brought to you by La Quinta, the designated hitter RBI leaders. Well, you'll see Butler on that list. He's fifth with 35. Of course, at the top of that list, David Ortiz by a wide margin. He's got 59 runs batted in. Butler hits it on the ground past the diving Bogarts into left field for a base hit.
We've seen that happen a few times tonight where that cut fastball has been pulled to the left side of the infield. That was a cutter again that time by Buchholz, and Butler able to cover the plate, pull the ball past the dive of Bogarts. That one had quite a bit of the plate.
Well, it's kind of what we talked about at the outset of this show. His cutter has had better life tonight, but the simple fact is he's given up 5 hits on his cutter.
And 10 hits altogether now to Kansas City. Moustakas takes outside for ball 1. Hayden Hop throwing for the second time tonight. This one's in the air to right. Holt to his right. Grabs it. One down. Time for the list. The top all-time third baseman. Pretty good list. Wade Boggs, George Brett, Eddie Matthews, Brooks Robinson, Mike Schmidt. You can share your opinions by using hashtag NESSONLists. That's not a bad list of third basemen right there.
A few all-star games for those guys combined.
Just a couple.
Is there a bad choice?
And that one misses to Escobar. The shortstop is 0 for 2. Foul straight back. It might not be popular here, but I'm kind of partial to Mike Schmidt.
Mike Schmidt?
One of my favorite players growing up. I was a huge Mike Schmidt fan.
Well, Brooks Robinson, one of my favorites. Of course, I had a chance to play with Wade Boggs. And when Boggs came to the big leagues, it was interesting because he was not a very good defensive third baseman. He made himself one. And he kept coming up here and started hitting, and everybody said, guys have been around a while. Well, they'll find a way to get him out. They'll find a way. They'll find a way. They never found a way. They never found a way to get him out.
He spent 6 years in the minor leagues because everyone said that his weak line drives over the shortstop's head would never translate to the big leagues.
Yeah, there are 3,000 plus of them.
Never translate.
And you saw it too, Jerry. Wade Boggs had massive power if he wanted to use it.
He could put on a show in batting practice if he wanted to.
Escobar fouls it off.
Wade Boggs made himself an outstanding defensive third baseman because, as you say, Jerry, he showed up here at 3 o'clock every day and worked on it. Took 100 ground balls at third base every day in different situations, different ways. Backhand, hit it hard to my left, hit some slow rollers. He was not a good third baseman when he got here. He was a darn good one when he left.
Another guy that falls into that power category, reminded from the truck, a guy that can hit home runs at will when he wants to in batting practice, Ichiro.
Yep.
Curveball had Escobar ducking, but it misses inside.
When the Yankees come here, first part of next month, for the fans that get to come out and watch batting practice, watch Ichiro. He'll take his first round of batting practice by hitting line drives to left field. He'll spend the entire rest of his rounds launching balls into the right field seats.
And this one is lifted to right. Holt stops and grabs it. Looked at first. 2 down.
Well, perfect positioning there by Brock Holt. He was shallow. He was shading the line a little bit. And he takes a base hit away from Escobar. That ball slicing away from Holt, but he's in such a position that it really didn't matter.
For a kid who hadn't played outfield before he got here, he has a tremendous amount of confidence in where he plays. It's scary for an outfielder to play that shallow, but he knew that Escobar can't hit the ball over his head, and he has a lot of confidence in his ability to play that position. I think it's really refreshing to watch.
He just seems to be an instinctual player all over the field. Aoki up now. Tapper, this time Buchholz grabs at the mound and underhands over to first. The leadoff man gets on. He is stranded. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-1 Royals. Mason's wide selection of Green Mountain Coffee K-Cup packs will keep you running and guarantees to satisfy any fan base. If you order by 11:30 a.m., you get free same-day delivery. Who but WB Mason? Red Sox have some catch-up work to do. They trail at 4-1. Mike Napoli, Daniel Nava, and Xander Bogaerts. Napoli fouls it off. Buchholz in the dugout, 104 pitches. And we'll see if his evening is complete.
I think that it might be, John. Saw a couple of coaches go over and tap him on the knee and sign that possibly the night is over for him.
Those pitches in this game were quite a bit more high stress pitches than what he saw in Houston. Going the complete game, 9 innings.
Napoli takes inside. Jerry, you touched on it at the top of the broadcast. The Astros the Royals put the ball in play. They really made Buchholz work.
Yeah, they do. They don't wait around very long. They swing early in the count. They don't strike out.
Napoli rips it hard but foul.
It's the kind of team that when you pitch against them, you almost got to pitch against them like the count's 0-2. I mean, it's crazy.
Let's take a look at the pitching line for James Shields, which is brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 5+, 5 hits, a run unearned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He's about to throw his 95th pitch. And Napoli fouls it off.
Shields has had good stuff tonight too. He went through his part of the season where his stuff wasn't quite as good. His changeup wasn't as good, but he's turned it around recently and pitched some very good baseball, and pitching well here tonight.
Just missed Napoli. Wanted it, doesn't get it.
That's the kind of step off the mound and take a deep breath and go, where was that?
Hits this one high and deep to left center field. Over is Kane, and he makes a running grab on the track. Tonight's suits are designed by Joseph Aboud, custom made in the USA of fine Italian fabrics. Now available at Men's Warehouse. Also, Men's Warehouse and Nesson have partnered to help raise awareness for the National Suit Drive throughout the month of July to collect gently used professional clothing items to give to unemployed men and women and give them a chance to look their best as they re-enter the workforce. To help, please visit nationalsuitdrive.com. One down for Daniel Nava. Looking for his first hit tonight. Takes a strike. That's outside. This is inside, now 2-1. This one's lifted to left. In comes Gordon, and he makes the running grab. No, he couldn't control it. It's out of his glove, and Nava is safely at first.
Well, it looked like it was going to be an outstanding play by Alex Gordon out there in left field, but it seems like when his glove hit the grass, that's when the ball popped out. Let's take another look. He's playing very deep, has it in the webbing of his glove, and then once it hits the ground, that's when the ball pops out.
Kind of a strange dive for the ball. He kind of dove to his right and reached back to his left to catch it. Doesn't dive straight for that, almost grabbing that ball off of his left thigh.
Yeah, it's kind of, the contact was weird. It was kind of like toward the end of the bat, and also slicing away from Gordon, who was out there fairly deep in left field.
And Nava is aboard with his first hit of the night, 6th for Boston, a one-out base runner for Bogaerts. Bogaerts takes strike one.
Guys, when you see Shields take his stretch, does he remind any of you guys of like a third grader just learning how to do it?
A little bit like Mike Messina.
Yeah, but even more exaggerated twists and turns.
Perez trots out. He does have a strange setup. These aerial views of Boston and Fenway Park are brought to you by Hood, the official dairy of the Boston Red Sox. To follow the Hood blimp and enter to win prizes this summer, be sure to visit the Hood Facebook page. You can also follow on Twitter at Hood Blimp.
Here's that funny stretch. He's learning how to dance.
There's a lot of rhythm to that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dip, and then you bring the hands way back, swing them. It's kind of like dancing with the stars.
This one's hit high in the air to center field. Back goes Kane. Looks. It is up. It is gone. A 2-run home run for Xander Bogaerts. His 7th of the season, and the Red Sox are back to within 1.
Well, that's the part of the ballpark you like to see Xander Bogaerts use. Straightaway center field. It's a cut fastball, doesn't do very much. It's a little bit flat, stays out over the plate, and Bogaerts to straightaway center into the bleachers for the home run.
But the balance was there, Jerry. What we had talked about earlier in the game, driving the ball up the middle and the other way, staying back, letting that ball travel into the strike zone. Here's my view of it from the cage, right at him. Look at the balance there. Look at, you could draw a line right through his head, down through his back leg, powering the ball to center field. That's the swing we used to see early in the season.
This time Drew gives it a jolt. Headed towards the Red Sox bullpen. Kane can't get it, and it will one-hop into the Boston bullpen for an automatic double.
Now, Kane kind of gave up on that ball a little bit. He slowed up thinking that Aoki was going to make a play on it. Then by the time he realized he had to put the Jets back on, it was too late.
Yeah, that's crazy. He was looking for his right fielder to make the play, and it was his all the way.
You can see him looking away. I mean, very late.
He was looking at Aoki when the ball was almost hitting him in the glove.
Conference at the mound as Scott Downs, the left-hander, now warms in the Kansas City bullpen. Shields has allowed 2 so far this inning. Alltown, New England's premier convenience retailer, is committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit for the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Be sure to visit alltown.com for an Alltown location near you. Sox back in it with 2 so far here in the bottom of the 6th. The tying run is at second with 1 down for David Ross. That misses down and in.
David Ross has become an ambush type hitter. Look for one pitch in one location and jump on it. This would be the time to do it. Look fastball, middle in.
0 for 2 tonight. Granted time. Ross does have 5 home runs on the season. Foul. Bogaerts with the 2-run home run to get Boston right back in it. Drew leading away from second. Swung on, missed. Low. .110 pitches now for Shields. Herrera has joined Downs, the right-hander. We've got two lefties due up after Ross for Boston. Check did not go.
And really trying to put Ross away with the breaking ball, the curveball.
There is Jackie Bradley Jr. Swung on and missed. Strike three. 2 down.
A lot of off-speed pitches in that at bat right there, and that's going to be it. Out comes Ned Yost. Changeup that time, followed by the breaking ball to pick up the big strikeout.
Ross goes down swinging. Left-hander coming up. Left-hander coming in. 4-3. Kansas City with the lead. Four dealers, so Downs, the left-hander, comes in, and John Farrell will counter that move as Jackie Bradley will be pinch hit for here by right-handed batting Johnny Gomes. You see Downs making his 43rd appearance. No wins, 2 losses, an earned run average approaching 6. He started the year with the White Sox, did not pitch well for Chicago. They designated him for assignment, and the Royals picked him up. 38-year-old veteran has been with several teams over the course of his career. Red Sox fans may remember him with the Blue Jays. So it's Gomes with a tying run at second. 2 down. This is inside. On the year, Gomes is hitting .234, 5 home runs, and 30 batted in. over the outside corner. 1-1.
I like the aggressive move here by John Farrell, bringing Gomes to hit in this situation. He's got to be hitting against left-handed pitching. That's where he thrives. Surprising that he did it for Bradley, though. He has not done that very often this season.
Rat foul. James Shields looking on. That's his runner. Drew out at second, but Downs is trying to strand. Wins have been hard to come by for Shields in this ballpark, but he's in line for one at this very moment. And it's fouled once again. Good numbers for Gomes over the course of his career against Kansas City. Two and two.
This is a situation where Gomes has been susceptible to off-speed pitches, usually looking for a fastball.
It's this one high and deep to center. Kane racing back. He turns. He looks. It is gone. Another two-run home run to straightaway center field. This time Johnny Gomes with the pinch hit shot, and the Red Sox retake the lead. It's 5-4 Boston.
Well, Johnny Gomes got the pitch he wanted, and that was a fastball. And he goes to straightaway center field. Fastball down about knee-high, middle plate. And Gomes takes it out. So two-run home runs. Bogarts and Gomes in this inning give the Red Sox a lead.
6 home runs for Gomes this year. That is his 9th career pinch hit homer, and the 2nd this season for Gomes. And the Red Sox have come all the way back to take the lead. And here is Holt. Holt with a hit and a single tonight.
Shields probably sitting there upset at the fact that he came out of the game. He's probably figuring I could have got Jackie Bradley Jr. out and finished off the inning. Instead, they make the switch. Farrell goes to Gomes. Gomes with the 2-run home run.
And his record isn't getting any better.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Holt goes down swinging. But the Red Sox flex their muscles. 2 two-run home runs. Straightaway center. Boston back in front. 5-4. Cartridge dual packs offer additional savings and are guaranteed to work the first time every time. Order from WB Mason by 11:30 and get free same-day delivery. Nobody beats WB on HP. Sox shuffle the outfield. Daniel Nava moves from left to right. Brock Holt moves from right to center. And Johnny Gomes remains in the game to play left after delivering a pinch hit 2-run home run. Lorenzo Cain leads it off, top of the 7th, as Burke Badenhop delivers his first pitch. He comes on in relief of Clay Buchholz, making his 43rd appearance. ERA under 3, 46 innings of work. Opponents batting .295 against him. Cain hits one past the mound towards short. In comes Drew in the run. Gets him at first. Cain's 0 for 4.
That's exactly what they want from Badenhop. Ground balls. Sink a ball pitches, sink a slider. If he gets ground balls, he's doing his job. Andrew Miller loosening in the bullpen.
You know, guys, when John Farrell takes criticism as a manager, it usually has to do with his X's and O's and on-field decisions. But those same people should give credit where credit is due and understand that move by bringing Gomes in to pinch hit when he did for Bradley, a move he normally doesn't do, and it pays off. You better turn around and say it was a great move, because it was.
And the pitch in there to Infante. Strike 1. Infante 2 for 3. He's had a nice night. Double, single. He scored twice. On the ground at third. Backing up Bogarts with a swipe and a stab. One hops it to first, but Napoli can't handle it. And safe at first is Infante.
Well, first of all, Bogarts makes a tremendous play down at third base because the ball is almost by him. But then I think he had a better opportunity to line himself up for a better throw. He almost threw, as you can see, with his legs spread apart instead of, pointing that foot toward first base and making a more accurate throw. He certainly had the time to do that.
Yeah, there were a couple mistakes on that play. Bogarts just didn't follow through and just kind of keep the intensity through the throw. And then I'm not sure what Napoli was doing trying to pick that ball at first. It looked like he should have been trying to backhand it.
Bogarts charged with the error, 2 ground balls, but Badenhop leads with 1 on, 1 out. Andrew Miller coming in. At Duncan Boston on Twitter. Tweets about exclusive contests, news, and more happening in Boston, Worcester, Cape Cod, Southern New Hampshire, and everywhere in between. Follow at Duncan Boston on Twitter today. The Red Sox run on Duncan. Andrew Miller, the left-hander, called upon to face the left-handed batting Eric Hosmer. And the first pitch is fouled off into the stands.
Well, he was sitting on fastball first pitch, no question about that. He doesn't want to get into a situation, as we look at Miller's numbers, where he wants to face that sweeping breaking ball.
And that's pretty much what he's going to see from here on out, I would think.
Try to go away with it, and if he chases, go a little bit farther away. Fastball away.
Swung right through.
Not where he wanted it, but he got away with it.
96 on this last fastball from Miller. Now we'll see the breaking ball.
On 0-2. Lays off.
I think I'd keep throwing it, Jerry. I know he's throwing two fastballs pretty much right by him.
Yeah, I don't want it. As a left-handed hitter, I want no part of that breaking ball. I can't reach it.
I can hit his fastball. I'll get a piece of his fastball probably, but I cannot hit that breaking ball down and away. And if I'm Miller, I keep throwing it over and over again in this at-bat.
I think he's going to get another fastball here.
Missed in.
They wanted to go away with the fastball, but it stayed inside.
I mean, he's really bringing it. 95, 96, and he got two quick strikes with it, but he has not hit his location with it. He's not throwing it where he wants to. He does not have command. There you go.
Swung on and missed for strike three. Miller comes in and gets the K.
I'll tell you, I can just go back thinking when I was playing, and if he gets ahead of me with a couple of strikes, fastballs, I got no chance. And he's going to throw me that breaking ball there, and I absolutely have no chance.
The Amica Insurance Pitch Zone. Great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. Well, there have been a lot of batters that have felt that way against Miller this season. He's been dominant, especially here at home. And Perez swings right through. Perez, the right-handed batting catcher, is 2 for 3 with a run batted in. One and one.
Guys checking in on a tweet from TC, Tom Caron. He said Shields' last start here at Fenway was the first game back that Boston played after the marathon bombing. Gomes came up with a pinch hit double that prompted the Boston Strong picture that we all know and love. That started a Red Sox rally.
A very emotional time, to say the least.
I believe Gomes now has 6 career pinch hit home runs. The franchise leader in pinch hit home runs, I believe, is Ted Williams with 7.
One, two. Stays alive. Another left-handed batter waits on deck. If it goes that far, that's Gordon. Another foul.
Those 4 days of rest have increased the velocity by about 3 miles an hour on the fastball from Andrew Miller. 96 on the last fastball.
gets the slider, swings and misses. Strike 3. Miller gets out of it. The Red Sox still lead at 5-4. Time to stretch at Fenway.
Happening at Fenway Park tonight. Omar Infante hitting the ball off the ladder that goes up that left field wall. We see a 3-4 pop-up catch. We see a ball girl who makes a play on a fair ball and then just whoops, drops the ball. I didn't mean it. And then Johnny Gomes, pinch hitting for Jackie Bradley Jr. gives the Red Sox the lead in the ball game. What a crazy night at Fenway.
Another in a long line. You never quite know what you're going to see when you come to the ballpark. When the Red Sox have found some offense, they have the 5-4 lead as Kelvin Herrera, the right-hander, comes on to pitch for Kansas City, making his 41st appearance. And he's been solid so far at ERA, just a little bit over 2, 39 innings, 32 strikeouts. Opponents batting .236 against him. And he will face the heart of the order, Dustin Pedroia, David Ortiz, and Mike Napoli. Right now the pitchers of record are Buchholz on the plus side, and Downs is responsible for the go-ahead run. So he's on the minus side. Didi is 1 for 3. He singled in his last at bat in the 5th.
Well, the Red Sox saw some really good production, some comeback production out of the back half of their order. Looking for the middle of their order now to get some things going.
And Herrera can bring it. 98, first pitch strike. Junichi Tazawa warms for Boston. Breaking ball, and it's 2-1 on Pedroia. Fouls it off. Tonight's game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. It has been an evening of twists and turns. James Shields has never pitched particularly well here. He did pitch into the 6th. Eric Hosmer leading the offense for Kansas City. They Buchholz hung around long enough to keep his team in it. Johnny Gomes and Xander Bogaerts, each with 2-run home runs, part of a 4-run 6th inning for Boston to dead center. Pedroia hits into the air, right center field. Kane over, 1 down.
I think Pedroia was kind of hoping that Kane wouldn't realize that he was the guy that was supposed to catch that ball.
No such luck for Petey.
And with the velocity that Herrera's working with right now at 98 and the positioning of Kane, he had no other option but to catch that ball.
And here is David Ortiz. 0 for 3 tonight. Hit into a double play last time up.
And Jerry, look where Kane is going for Ortiz. Now, my vision down here is a little skewed, but it looks to me like he's playing him the other way.
And almost on the warning track. All the way around.
Big swing and a miss.
I mean, that's about as deep as you're going to see 3 outfielders play here at Fenway Park. It's like a no double situation.
Or Little League, where they tell the kids just go stand in front of the fence.
Yeah, stand in front of the fence and charge everything.
Yeah, Kane needs a ticket to get back in the game.
.99, it's 2-1.
I think this could be the most fun at bat that David Ortiz might have all night. I feel like he thinks he's going to get challenged. It's going to be at 98, 99, but I think he believes, well, I'm going to see a fastball and I'm going to see if I can't match it.
Swung right through, 2-2.
Elevating the fastball that time against Ortiz at 97.
They've been up there, upstairs in the strike zone for him all day.
Look, he wants to go to a breaking ball here.
And it is line fair down the right field line. It'll roll to the corner. Ortiz with a turn around first. He'll head for second. Throw not in time. A sliding double. And Big Papi turned around a curveball.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that. You know, when you throw 98 and 99 and you've been elevating that fastball and there's been no contact, and then you speed the bat up, obviously, by throwing the breaking ball, and Ortiz right on it. Lines it right down that right field line.
Jerry, you're dead on right there. I mean, he was throwing his fastball by Ortiz. And then you take, what, 7, 8 miles an hour off of the next pitch you throw him? All you're doing is speeding his bat up.
I mean, that's just being geared up for a fastball. Fortunate to get a breaking ball. You take a fastball swing on a breaking ball, and he pulls it right down that right field line.
If you throw that pitch, you throw it out of the strike zone and hope he swings at a bad pitch. You don't throw it for a strike.
Napoli fouls it off into the stands. John Risch alongside Jerry Remy. The other voice you hear is Steve Lyons. He is downstairs this evening, and the Red Sox lead this one 5-4 at Fenway Park. They now have a runner in scoring position in Ortiz at second base. Napoli's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles.
Jerry,
strike.
You said you thought that Herrera wanted to go to the breaking ball. Did you see him shaking signs? Because I can't imagine Perez would have been in favor of the pitch they threw.
Yeah, I didn't notice him shake off a sign that time.
High heat, 101 miles an hour.
That's all. 101.
Low.
That was a changeup at 91.
That's what you're looking for, right? 10-mile separation.
Yeah, 91 mile an hour changeup.
From 101 to 91. Right back to the mound. Stabbed by Herrera. He wants the out at third. Ortiz is hung up. And he won't stay in the pickle long enough. And stopping at first is Napoli. Ortiz out of the fielder's choice.
Not a good base running play by Ortiz right there. He's already in scoring position at second base. You've got to make sure that ball gets up the middle. And heads up, Herrera looks toward third base, immediately gets the ball there, and they quickly tag out Ortiz so Napoli can't get into scoring position. So not a good base running play by David.
He is out number 2, and that'll bring up Daniel Nava.
The rule of thumb, and I only say this slightly sarcastically, for a pitcher, if you nab a ball like that, get it to a middle infielder or get it to an infielder as quickly as possible. They always used to say in spring training, put the ball in the hands of the athletes.
Plus, the more time a pitcher has to fiddle with the ball and is indecisive on where to throw the ball, obviously it's the more time it gives that base runner from home to get himself in a scoring position. So you got a trade-off. There was no opportunity for a trade-off there.
You give a pitcher a long enough time to try to make a decision on what he wants to do with the ball, the more chance you're going to get a mistake.
Nava bounces this one towards short. On to first, and the Red Sox are retired in the 7th. We go to the 8th. 5-4 Boston. Seats, the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Sox with the lead, 5-4 as the top of the 8th is set to begin. And it will do so with Boston's 4th pitcher of the night. Junichi Tozawa comes on in relief of Andrew Miller for his 44th appearance. .261 his earned run average. 38 innings under his belt. 40 strikeouts over that stretch. Opponents batting .260 against him. Buchholz for 6. Badenhop recorded 1 out in the 7th. Miller got the last 2. And Tazawa will get Gordon, Butler, and Moustakas.
Kind of the way that John Farrell would set it up, especially when you get to this part of the game. Tazawa in the 8th, Koji in the 9th. Good night.
That's the plan anyway, with a 1-run lead for Boston. And the breaking ball's in there for a strike. We have double-barreled action, a pair of right-handers, Wade Davis and Aaron Crow, each loosening in the Kansas City bullpen. Davis, another player that came over with James Shields in the deal from Tampa Bay. Tazawa bounces it. Gordon 1 for 3. He drove home a run with a single. That was back in the 4th. Swung one and missed.
Good split of that time from Tazawa, working down and away from Gordon. Exactly where he wants it, down in the strike zone, ending up out of the strike zone. Looks like he may try another.
And that one bounces short of home plate, evens up the count at 2-2. Elevated that time, and it's fouled off.
Once you've swung at a bad split finger, like Gordon already has, you're pretty much telling everybody in the house that you can't recognize it. I'd be surprised if he doesn't see it again here. Can always throw the fastball or the cup or the breaking ball on a 3-2 count.
Little tapper foul. Tune in tonight after our Red Sox coverage for Nesson Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Jamison Coyle and Leah Hextall will have details from a busy day off the ice for the Boston Bruins, plus they'll preview Patriots training camp.
Try it again.
And it's lined into left field for a base hit.
Now that time it stayed elevated. Split-fingered fastball. That's a bunch of them from Tazawa, and that one stayed up in the zone. And nice piece of hitting here by Gordon as he takes it to the opposite field. It was off the outside part of the plate. Probably not a strike, but he's able to cover the plate and shoot it to the opposite field.
Second hit of the night for Gordon. He's aboard at first. Representing the tying run for Billy Butler. Throw gets past Napoli, bounces off the camera well. Now Napoli tries to get him at second, and it bounces away from Drew into left field. And Gordon is safely at second base.
From a bad play to almost a break to the tying run in scoring position. I couldn't tell if the ball, Steve probably could from down there, if the ball hit on the throw from Napoli, hit the base runner.
Jerry, I was ducking. Almost hit me.
We'll take another look. Here's Napoli's throw. Does it hit the runner coming in? No, it goes right over the top of his shoulder, and almost like it blocked Stephen Drew.
The error is charged to Tazawa on the original throw. That's a strike to Butler. Lifted in the air, down the line to right, long run. Nava reaches it, makes the catch, tagging and advancing to third is Gordon.
Now that's a good out right there by Butler, moving the ball to the opposite field with a man on second base in a one-run ball game. Nice play by Nava, but it gets the job done. It gets that run into the third base with less than 2 outs.
That's a really nice play by Nava. He's made a couple of those. One on a ball off the wall where he caught it before it hit the ground, and he turned a double into a single. And then that play right there, moving over to right field. You know, earlier in the season, I had been mildly critical of Nava's defense. He has played much, much better.
Infield pulled in for the Red Sox.
And Moustakas takes low.
There's a chance because you're working toward the bottom of the lineup that if there is a ground ball, the runner at third base, Gordon, could be going on contact.
You like the contact play, Jerry?
Yeah, I do. And I always say that as a former second baseman who panicked every time my ground ball came to me with a man at third base.
Not you, especially when the infield was in. That's the only thing that I don't like about it is, gosh, I'd rather have that ball in the infield go through, because you're basically running into an automatic out if it doesn't go through. And they need this run.
And he hits it to Pedroia, who backhands, looks the runner back, and takes the out at first.
No contact play.
Yep, 3 or 4 steps down the line. Once Pedroia had it in the backhand, retrieved to third base.
And for people that don't understand what Jerry and I are talking about, the contact play is if you're the runner at third, you run as soon as the ball's hit. You don't wait to see where it's hit. If you're running on that play, you're dead at home. But the play is designed to put pressure on the defense and hope that the ball goes through and you're going to score, or maybe get a bobble, or a slow roller might get hit where if you're already running, you take all the decision out of it and you're running no matter what ball is hit.
And a lot of it has to do where you're operating in the lineup too.
Escobar, the number 8 man, shows bunt. Pitch was outside.
Red Sox really don't have to be in this situation with a guy on third base, but for me, they got a little cute. Tazawa trying to pick a guy off who wasn't going to be running anyway. Got himself into this situation. You get to this point of the game, just get outs.
Over the glove of Tazawa. Drew in front of the bag. Gets him at first, and Tazawa gets out of it. The 1-run lead intact for the Red Sox, 5-4 Boston to the bottom of the 8th. Is brought to you by the new Scion TC, Sullivan Tire and Auto Repair, your New England Kia dealers, Citizens Bank, good banking is good citizenship, and by your Subaru dealers of New England. To the bottom of the 8th we go at Fenway Park. Red Sox lead this one by the score of 5-4. And Aaron Crow, the right-hander, is on. He becomes the 4th pitcher of the evening for Kansas City. Their bullpen's pretty good. His ERA a solid 2.75 as he makes his 44th appearance. 39 1/3, 32 hits, and 21 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 224 against Crow as Bogaerts takes ball 1. Bogaerts reached on an error, lined out, and then smacked a huge 2-run home run to straightaway center. Started the comeback in the 6th.
Cut fastball that time to Bogaerts and straightaway center field for the home run. Good job keeping his head, shoulder on the baseball, driving it straightaway center.
Pretty swing. 2-1.
Early in the season on the pre and post game show, we used to talk a lot about the way he would take a pitch. He was so evenly balanced. We saw a period of time where he got away from that, taking his top half with him too much. He's starting to get back to the balanced swing.
And John Farrell has talked about how happy he is with the work he's done before the game. Now it's a matter of just continuing that and being more consistent in the game.
That is a big issue.
Outside, there's a walk. For every Red Sox hit in July, Echo Store Technologies will donate $50 to Massachusetts Down Syndrome Congress. Echo Store is proud to assist MDSC in helping ensure individuals with Down syndrome to be valued, included, and given the opportunities to pursue a fulfilled life. To learn more, visit echostore.com. Echo Store Technologies, your data center solutions provider.
Are they bunting, Jerry?
I would in this situation. I don't know if John Farrell will, but I would.
You know, with a guy that is starting to swing the bat a little bit better, a couple of hits, but has not overall swung the bat all that well. Get yourself a guy in scoring position. Tack on an insurance run.
No sign of a bunt right there. You have Carp on deck who could pinch hit for Ross if he got into that situation.
Single, double, and a run for Drew tonight.
Managers love to see guys start to turn a corner. We know how tough it's been for Stephen Drew offensively. Hasn't done much with the bat, but a couple hits today. Has started to swing it a little bit better. Sometimes a manager will say, hey, let's keep going with it.
How about a little hit and run action?
Snap throw to first. Bogaerts gets back.
How was that quick?
Boy, I don't even really want to see Bogaerts get back. I just want to see how quick Perez was on that play.
Perez from his knees making a bullet throw down to first base. And you see how large the secondary lead was for Bogaerts, and he almost got it at first base. Very smart, diving to the outfield side of the bag.
Yep.
That makes the tag just a little bit longer, and that was the difference.
Snap throw bullet from your knees. Now, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that Christian Vasquez is going to be another Salvador Perez, but they are the same type of defensive catcher, and who knows how good he can be. But boy, how much fun it must be watching this guy behind the plate every night for Kansas City fans.
Quick conversation with Dave Island, the pitching coach. And look at the poll question this evening. Who will be the most important players for the Red Sox? The most important player in the second half. Bogaerts, Drew, Vasquez, Buchholz. Right now, Bogarts and Vasquez neck and neck. Ball 4. Drew takes the walk. First and second.
Now I bunt.
David Ross striding to the plate. Jason Frazier, newly acquired right-hander from Texas, joining the team today.
Ross has sacrificed only one time this season.
Five 5-4, Boston with the lead as they look for a little insurance here in the bottom of the 8th. 0 for 3 night for Ross, including a couple of strikeouts.
Well, certainly the Kansas City infield is expecting them. They're in at third base, in at first base.
Squares gets it down but foul.
With the right-hander on the mound and only a righty right now warming up in the pen, you got to figure no matter what Ross does, Gomes isn't going to hit. Mike Karp's on the bench, ready to go. Gomes did his job against the lefty.
Gets it down fair this time to third. The only play is to first. It's a sacrifice bunt for David Ross.
Well done.
I think the only way Gomes would hit is if the Red Sox think that they're going to put him on.
See, the option right here for the third baseman is to look to second base, see if there's a play there. If not, then you go to first base. Third base is wide open. There's nothing there.
Jerry's right. That's why it was an outstanding bunt, because he made the third baseman field the ball. That vacates the base.
And Gomes will hit here for the righty-righty matchup with first base open, runners at second and third and one down.
You got to put him on, don't you?
I don't know. You got Brock Holt on deck. Maybe you take that chance. It's a dangerous one.
And that's a strike.
Maybe he'll do this again.
Big 6th inning for the Red Sox. Big 6th inning for Johnny Gomes. Pinch hit to give Boston the lead. They now enjoy 5-4. Big swing and a miss.
Right now, Brock Holt is the best hitter on this Red Sox team. If you put Gomes on, you're trying to give yourself a chance to double up and get yourself out of the inning. Holt's a tough guy to double up.
Strike 3. 3 pitches. Gomes goes down swinging.
Now do you walk Holt?
Yeah, this is always interesting when you got Pedroia on deck. Looks like they got to go right after Holt. There's the breaking ball right there for the strikeout on Johnny Gomes. So a big strikeout with 2 men in scoring position. You got one of the Red Sox hottest hitters at the plate. First base open, but you've got Pedroia on deck. This way you earn your money as manager.
The entire infield comes in to discuss strategy here.
Yeah, there's not much to discuss except to tell everybody there's second and third and 2 outs. You got to get the third out of the inning.
Holt steps in. 1 for 3 with a walk. Looks like they're going to pitch to him. High.
So many decisions at the end of the game. Do you walk guys? Do you pinch hit Carp in that situation for Gomes? Do you walk the hottest Red Sox hitter for the last 2 months?
That misses high. So they're pitching to him, but the question is, are they pitching to him?
Yeah. Could be the old unintentional intentional walk.
Well, a lot of times in those situations, when the count goes to 2-0, then they'll just put him on.
Swings and pops it up, foul, out of play.
And so that was my point there. I mean, if they were not going to pitch to him, when the count goes to 2-0, they're looking for him first to chase a bad pitch in the first couple of pitches. If he doesn't do that and they go 2-0, then they would just put him on. Then they came right after him with the 2-0 fastball.
Fouled straight back. Bogarts at third. Stephen Drew at second. Brock Holt in the midst of a breakout season. Stays alive.
He makes good adjustments, doesn't he, Jerry? And almost in the middle of his swing, he recognizes breaking ball, slows things down a little bit, doesn't get out in front, and fouls it off.
Yeah, it's such a compact swing that, you know, those guys have an easier time, obviously, making those kind of adjustments.
Hits it down the right field line, heading towards the corner. Aoki makes the catch, and the Red Sox leave a pair. They do not score in the eighth, but they go to the ninth with a 1-run lead, 5-4 Boston. World Series MVP ring, as well as all 3 championship trophies and World Series rings this coming Saturday at Fenway Park. Swing by Gate B tomorrow between 8 and noon. Try on Big Papi's MVP ring with the purchase of a $10 Red Sox Foundation ring raffle ticket. Tickets can be purchased on site or in advance by visiting redsox.com/ring raffle. 5-4 Boston, top of the 9th. And the closer comes on, Koji Uehara. 43rd game, 1.65 the ERA. He saved 18 of 20. Faced one batter in the All-Star game on Tuesday. Facing Aoki here. Starts him with a strike. Aoki 1 for 3 tonight, a single and a run. Lifts it foul in the hole.
Kind of surprised Aoki didn't try to swing at the first pitch. Lately, a lot of hitters have been going up there looking for a first pitch fastball from Koji so that they don't have to face the splitter later on.
Uehara last pitch for Boston a week ago yesterday and was charged with a blown save against the White Sox. Fouled off again. Aoki is the number 9 man, so it's around to the top of the order after him with Kane and then Infante. Line drive, center field. Holt comes in, makes the grab. Don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. That's tomorrow at 6:30. TC and Jim Rice will preview Ruby De La Rosa's start and have all the latest from inside the Red Sox clubhouse. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? One down for Kane, who's 0 for 4. Ripped hard but foul. Red Sox won 4 of their last 5 heading into the All-Star break. Looking to try and pick up right where they left off. Strike 2.
There's that fastball at 89 miles an hour up and in from Uehara.
He's had a couple good hacks at it, but I hope he's not thinking he's going to get another one.
He is going to get a fastball away.
Strike 3. Foul tipped into the mitt. 2 down.
I think he was as surprised as everybody in the ballpark, expecting the split-fingered fastball. Instead, gets the 80-mile-an-hour fastball.
Right down the middle.
8 pitches, 7 strikes, par for the course for Uehara, and it's down to Infante.
Can't imagine that he'd stick that splitter in his back pocket for the entire inning, but do you think Jerry maybe doesn't have a good feel for it today?
Well, they threw a number of them to the first batter he faced, Aoki, and fouled a number of them off to the third base side. He threw one to Kane that he left up in the zone, and Kane pulled it in foul territory. Fastball away.
Strike called, and the count is even. 1-1.
Back to the split.
Line in the left, a base hit. It'll roll to the corner. Bring it is Gomes. Heading for second. The throw. Infante slides in safely.
He went back to the split-fingered fastball, and again, it was similar to the one that Kane pulled foul. It was a high one.
Yeah, not a lot of movement on those. The one that Kane pulled, and then that one there.
All of a sudden, that pitch, when you leave it up in the zone, it becomes a very hittable pitch. When you leave it down in the zone, it is almost impossible to hit.
Second double of the night for Infante means Uehara will have to deal with Eric Hosmer, who was 3 for 4 with a couple of runs batted in. And that misses.
Whoa. Come on.
Where that missed.
Gotta have it. Gotta have that one. Yeah, I'm begging.
That's a strike.
Wow.
But not according to Gary Cederstrom. There it is. Over the inside corner for a strike. Uehara is now a strike away, and they come to their feet at Fenway. Tying run at second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bounce towards second. Pedroia has it, and the Red Sox win. Boston begins the second half with a comeback victory at Fenway as they defeat the Royals tonight 5-4. For Jerry Remy, Steve Lyons, and Gary Streisky, John Risch saying good night from Fenway Park as the Red Sox start the second half with a victory. TC?